Imagine dropping 21 points, 10 assists, and 7 rebounds, and doing it all in just 24 minutes. Not a full game. Not even close to a full game.
24
minutes. That's what Caitlin Clark did on Sunday, and honestly, at this point, we need to start asking a different question. It's not what can Caitlin Clark do anymore. It's, is there anything she can't do? Because right now, the Indiana Fever star guard isn't just playing basketball. She's rewriting the record books in real time, and the WNBA's own scorekeepers are literally struggling to keep up with her. Let's set the scene. Sunday, May 17th, Gainbridge Fieldhouse, Indianapolis. The Fever, sitting at 2-2 on the young season, hosting the Seattle Storm. Indiana needed a win at home. They needed Clark to show up. And show up she did, in a way that left everyone in that building wondering if what they were watching was even real. By the time Clark walked off that floor, the Fever had an 89-78 victory, their first home win of the season. But the scoreline almost doesn't matter when you break down what Clark actually did out there. 21 points on only 10 shot attempts. 10 assists. 7 rebounds. In 24 minutes. That's not a stat line. That's a cheat code. But here's where the story gets really interesting because Sunday wasn't even the most historic moment of Clark's weekend. That happened 2 days earlier, and it almost didn't get recognized at all. Friday night, May 15th, Indiana is battling the Washington Mystics in overtime. Clark goes off for 32 points and 10 assists in a heartbreaking overtime loss. Monster performance. But buried in the chaos of a tough defeat, something went unnoticed. 2 of Clark's assists weren't credited in the final box score. They just disappeared. Scorekeeping errors happen in every sport, but when it's Caitlin Clark, those 2 missing assists carry a lot of weight. Because once the WNBA reviewed the game and updated her stat line, just a few hours before Sunday's tip-off, something incredible became official. Caitlin Clark had just become the first player in WNBA history to record multiple games with at least 30 points and 10 assists. First. Ever. In WNBA history. Think about that for a second. The league has existed since 1997. Nearly 3 decades of the greatest women's basketball players on the planet, and nobody had done that twice. Clark did it, had it taken away by a scorekeeping error, then had it handed back to her before she even laced up her sneakers for the next game. When she was asked about setting a record on Friday and extending a different one on Sunday, Clark laughed and admitted that had to be a first for her. And she's right. That kind of weekend doesn't happen to normal athletes. But Clark isn't operating in the realm of normal anymore. That 20-point, 10-assist performance on Sunday didn't just feel historic, it was. Clark became the first player in
Coming off a
WNBA
quick
history
screen, she
to put up
found
at least
herself
20
with just
points
enough
and 10
space
assists
to let
in
it fly.
fewer than 25 minutes of action. Not just rare. Not just impressive.
Which Caitlin
Never done
was getting
before.
under Angel's
And
skin.
consider
As
the
soon as they
context.
realized they
She
couldn't
wasn't
match her
padding stats in
finesse,
garbage
they reverted to
time. She
contact.
wasn't playing hero ball. She was orchestrating, distributing, scoring when it mattered, and doing it at a pace
She
that
thrived
forced
in
her
the
coach to
chaos.
rest her.
Enabling
It
them to
also
run the
extended
basketball.
another
Multiple
record.
players here touching
Sunday
the ball.
marked Clark's 12th career game with at least 20 points and 10 assists, the most in WNBA
Either.
history.
She showed off
Player
her
in
quick
second
hands
place,
and forced the
Courtney
turnover.
Vandersloot, a veteran guard with 15 years of professional experience, who has 10 such games to her name. Clark has 12,
While Angel was throwing
and
up
she's in her
bricks,
second
Caitlin
season.
got to work.
Let that sit with you. And here's another layer to this. Sunday was also Clark's
When the
fourth
sky
consecutive
crowded the
game to
lane,
open
trying to
season
block
with
her
at least
path,
20 points
Caitlin
and
didn't
5
flinch.
assists,
She weaved
tying
through the
longest such
defense and
streak to
found a
start
way.
Season in WNBA history. She's not just breaking records. She's tying records
And
that
right
were
after,
already elite,
it was clear
then
Reese still
building on
didn't
top
get the
of it.
message. On the
After
very
game,
next play,
Clark
she
spoke
went
about
after
what drives
CC
her
again.
performance, and her answer was telling. She talked about taking pride in making her
But when the
teammates
fourth
better,
quarter rolled
in setting
around,
people
Angel
up for
Reese was
success.
back on the floor,
And
ready
she
to
pointed
start her
directly to
rampage
the
again.
efficiency of Sunday's performance as proof of what this Fever team is capable of offensively.
With just 30 seconds
played
left,
23
Caitlin delivered the
minutes.
final blow,
She
a
had 10
laser
assists.
pass that threaded through the
potential in
defense.
that ratio is staggering when you imagine what a full 35-minute Clark performance could look like.
But when
when
Caitlin tried to
everything
drive through the
clicked.
defense
shooting was
again, this
also a
time,
significant
Angel Reese,
storyline on
clearly
Sunday
frustrated,
because
wasn't
Clark had
having it.
struggled from deep to open the season. Through the first 2 games, She was 3 for 16 from the
And the assist to
three-point line.
Boston kept the
Not to
Fever's
start
rhythm
she or
going.
Fever
This was
fans
the
were
energy
hoping
they
for.
needed to
But
handle.
Sunday, she hit 2 of 4 from beyond the arc. She scored 17 of her
Impressive stat
21
line.
points before
23
halftime,
points,
and she
8
looked like the
rebounds,
player who
and
changed
9
the
assists.
WNBA landscape from the moment she arrived. Clark talked about the mental side of a shooting slump with remarkable
That left the crowd
self-awareness.
buzzing. The
She
tension
described the
between the
risk
two
of
had been
overthinking
building
when
all
shots
game.
aren't falling, the temptation to aim rather than trust your mechanics. Her solution was simple but powerful. Just let it fly. Don't hold it. Don't force it. Shoot it. It sounds easy. For most players,
Find a body on Reese.
Clark
Gets freed up.
She wasn't alone out there either. Kelsey Mitchell and Sophie Cunningham each added 17 points
Things up
to help
defensively,
Indiana
but it
pull
turned
away from
out to be a
Seattle.
lesson quickly
This was a
learned.
team win in every sense, and that matters for a Fever squad that has plenty of season left to figure out its ceiling. What made the win even more impressive was who wasn't on the floor for Indiana. Center Aaliyah Boston, who had played in every single WNBA
Off yet
game
another one of her
four-year
masterful
professional career,
performances.
sat out Sunday for the first time. She watched from the sideline as Indiana handled business. Without her, that's a significant absence for any team, and the Fever absorbed it without missing a beat. The Storm, meanwhile, dropped to 1-3 on the season. Seattle's start has been rough.
Obvious they were getting frustrated, and instead of playing smart, they were trying to slow Caitlin down by any means necessary.
The attention now shifts to Wednesday, May 20th, when the Portland Fire come to Gainbridge Fieldhouse for the third game of a 4-game homestand. This stretch at home is critical for a Fever team still trying to find its rhythm and build toward what everyone, including Clark, believes this roster can become. But right now, in this moment, step back and appreciate what is happening with Caitlin Clark. She is 24 years old. She is in her second WNBA season. She is breaking records that have stood for decades, setting standards that no player in the league's history
And
ever
Caitlin
reached,
was leading the
and
way,
doing it with
determined not to let the
consistency
game
and
slip away.
unprecedented. The scorekeepers can barely keep up. The record books are being rewritten week by week, game by game, sometimes quarter by quarter. And every time you think you've seen the ceiling of what she's capable of, every time you think you understand who Caitlin Clark is as a basketball player,
Caitlin read the defense like a
walks
book,
into a building,
making the right
plays
plays
24
and
minutes,
even using
and
her
makes sure you
teammates
know
as a
you
sort
have
of
a team.
shield.
Find some space.
That 20-point, 10-assist performance on Sunday didn't just feel historic. It was.
And after those
Clark became
back-to-back
the first
fouls,
player in WNBA history to put up at least 20 points and 10 assists in fewer than 25 minutes of action. Not just rare. Not just impressive.
luckily for the Fever,
Never done
Caitlin turned up
before.
the heat just
And
when they
consider
needed
the
it
context.
most, and
She
immediately
wasn't
turning
padding stats in
defense
garbage
into
time.
offense.
She wasn't playing hero ball. She was orchestrating, distributing, scoring when it mattered, and doing it at a pace that forced her coach to rest her. It also extended another record. Sunday marked Clark's 12th career game with at least 20 points and 10 assists, the most in WNBA history.
She stayed in control,
Player in second
orchestrating the
place,
offense
Courtney
and keeping the
Vandersloot,
pressure on the
a
sky.
veteran guard with 15 years of professional experience, who has 10 such games to her name. Clark has 12, and she's in her second season. Let that sit with you.